Hey guys, Lexus Driver here. Now on this video, I'm going to be sharing my knowledge of all the major characters of Zootopia 2, starting with the good guys and ending with the bad guys. And I might say some spoilers, so spoiler alert. Um, if you haven't watched Zootopia 2, I suggest you don't watch this video, but if you did, you can stick around. But anyways, without further ado, let's get to the good guys first. Now, the main protagonist of Zootopia 2 and Zootopia, Officer Judy Hopps. Now, what I learned about Judy Hopps is, despite being a rabbit in the ZPD, she didn't let that stereotype stop her from doing her duty as a ZPD officer. And given the outfit she's wearing in the sequel of Zootopia, it looks like she got promoted to detective, but she's referred to as Officer Judy Hopps because a detective is a police officer who solves cases and also what's going on and whatnot. So solving crimes, obviously. And Judy Hopps in the sequel, even if it means even if it means going against the department, she is willing to do the right thing, and also remember the innocent until proven guilty. Judy Hopps, she knows she needs to know the full story of what's going on with the reptile population, why this has been buried for 100 years. Um, so that's when Judy goes on a crusade. Well, I wouldn't say going on a crusade because Gary the Snake, which you will see, leads the crusade to set things right, and Judy is helping because there is something that's very hidden and must be shown to the public. So Judy Hopps, despite being a rabbit, she didn't let that stereotype interfere with her work. She does her duty as a ZPD officer. So that's my knowledge of Judy Hopps. Now, this is Judy Hopps's partner and eventually future love interest because people have been shipping Judy and well, you know what I mean. So this character is Nick Wilde. As I said, he is Judy Hopps's partner in the ZPD. He used to be a con artist, but after helping out Judy Hopps, he eventually turned his life around and becomes ZPD's first Fox officer. And Nick, Nick, regarding his personality um, when it comes to the partnership and whatnot, he's trying to stay alive, but eventually he gets caught and then got sent to jail and whatnot. But he does escape, but accidentally freeing the convicts, accidentally freeing the prisoners, and it's like any other ZPD officer who does that by accident. He swore an oath and does his duty uh, to um, do the to uphold the law, capture those guys, and resend them back to jail. And Nick, after pouring his art, after pouring his heart out on. After pouring his heart out on what he's really feeling, um, eventually Judy and Nick they reconcile with each other. They hug it out, just like in the first film. They hug it out and they finally settle their differences. That's what I love about Nick. And also, what I also love about Nick is his willingness to stand up. In the first film of Zootopia, Nick he stood up for Judy Hopps when Chief Bogo was pretty harsh with Judy. Um, that's what I love about Nick, his willingness to stand up for Judy Hopps, especially in tough times. So feels like a friend you would need, when you're unwilling to stand up because you're scared, and yeah. So that's my knowledge of Nick Wilde. Even though he's a fox, he also didn't let that stereotype interfere with him or define him. Now, for the brand new characters of Zootopia 2, Gary the Snake, voiced by the same voice actor who was in Kung Fu Panda 4, and also who also played Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now, Gary the Snake, he's a pit viper, but pit vipers in real life are venomous snakes. But Gary the Snake, despite being a pit viper, he's a very kind-hearted, innocent, and friendly snake, and he's the character who is on a crusade to set things right, because he says that snakes aren't the bad guys. Gary the Snake, he's willing to prove that his great grandmother was the one who was the true founder of the Zootopia walls. And what I love about Gary the Snake is, you know, like I said, kind-hearted, innocent, and he would he's despite his appearance as a pit viper, he would never hurt anyone. So Gary the Snake, the first time I saw Gary the Snake, and when I learned that he is voiced by Ki Hui Kwan, um, I knew that this character, he kind of reminds me of Short Round, and uh, uh, I might even show maybe a screenshot of Gary's parents, but I might do that later on in this part of the video. But for now, I'm going to be talking about Gary the Snake. Now, Gary the Snake, his crusade, I would say, is very risky, but he's very willing to get his family back, and all the reptiles back to the neighborhood that was erased in history for 100 years. He's very willingly to do the right thing. So that's my knowledge of Gary the Snake. And this character, a beaver named Nibbles. Her first name is Nibbles. Nibbles. Her full name, Nibbles Maplestick. Now, this is Nibbles Maplestick. She's a conspiracy theorist, and also she's the only mammal in Zootopia 2 that never had any prejudice towards reptiles, because real life beavers, as you can see, the tail, it's very scaly. So apart from a lot of the fur on her body, she does have scales on her tail. And she's a conspiracy theorist. She's based off of a lot of real life conspiracy theorists, but despite that, she is willing to show the truth that reptiles do exist in Zootopia. It's just that a 100-year-long crime that was never committed by Gary's great grandmother is proof that reptiles still exist, and she's willing to prove it. And in the sequel, she did. And I would say that. I would say she no longer holds any conspiracy theories, though she might if we get to see her again in the third Zootopia film. But this character, despite being a conspiracy theorist, she's very willing to prove with the help of real good friends, just like Judy, Nick, and Gary. So that's my knowledge of Nibbles Maplestick. And also, one last thing I'd like to say about this character. The first time I saw this character, I thought the character is male, but later on in the trailers, it's revealed that that the character is female. So Nibbles Maplestick is female. So um, I refer to the character as a she. Now this character is Captain Hoggbottom. Now Captain Hoggbottom, she's a she's a no nonsense ZPD officer. Well, she is a ZPD officer. Um, she's well, it is it's what's called, but I would say it's like a SWAT team. So she's a SWAT police officer. Given the tactical gear she's wearing like you can see what she's wearing. She's wearing a polo shirt, and she's wearing a body armor because I can tell that Captain Hoggbottom she's a SWAT police officer, though in Zootopia 2 it's called it differently. But just so I won't say anything that would be confusing, what she's wearing, she's a SWAT officer, and uh, she is following orders, but she has limits. After Chief Bogo was out of commission after Gary accidentally poisoned him with his venomous fangs. Chief Bogo was out of commission, and also Milton when Milton Lynxley gave the order to shoot a lethal dart at Judy. Captain Hoggbottom was really appalled because even though she disliked Judy and Nick, she would never execute the order that involves killing a fellow officer because Captain Hoggbottom, despite her what am I saying? Captain Hoggbottom, even though she disliked Judy and Nick, calling them rookies, she still sees them as her fellow officers. So in summary, Captain Hoggbottom, despite her dislike of Judy and Nick, they're still her fellow officers. So that's what I love about Captain Hoggbottom. She has limits, especially when there's an order that involves something that would go against her codes as a ZPD officer. So that's my knowledge of Captain Hoggbottom. And Captain Hoggbottom, she's voiced by the same voice actress who was in DuckTales. She voiced Scrooge McDuck's sister. She really has a thick, heavy Scottish accent, but that's what I learned about Captain Hoggbottom. Now we're getting to the bad guys. So the characters you see here, I'm gonna go with oldest to youngest. The youngest I'll explain last, and also showing my contempt and despise of these characters because the main antagonist of Zootopia 2, I feel like these characters, they're designed for you to hate. Now, what you see here are three characters. So what you see is Milton Lynxley, the main antagonist of Zootopia 2. Milton Lynxley, the first time I saw Milton Lynxley, I knew he's the main antagonist. I just said to myself, I know who the main antagonist is. So Milton Lynxley, he's the main antagonist of Zootopia 2. Now, the first time I saw this character, throughout watching the film, and also from the moment he taunted Nick after sending Nick to jail, I really hate this character. I feel like this character is designed for you to hate. And Milton Lynxley, he also reminds me of Don Salieri in the Mafia game, Mafia: The City of Lost Heaven, and also the Mafia Definitive Edition. That's my first impression of how I see Milton Lynxley. Milton Lynxley, he reminds me of Don Salieri. I also found some comments from a video I watched when I made that comment that he's more like Don Morello, but me personally, I would say he's like Don Salieri in my personal opinion. I haven't played the Mafia games, but I feel like it's worth comparing to other characters from video games and whatnot. So in summary, the first time I saw Milton Lynxley, he reminds me of Don Salieri. And then what you see here, we see here his two kids, Cattrick Lynxley and Kitty Lynxley. Kitty Lynxley, that's his daughter. Cattrick Lynxley, that's his son, his eldest son. Uh, Cattrick Lynxley, I have nothing much to say about this character apart from he's willing to help his dad and whatnot. That's a role of how the oldest sibling would do. And Kitty Lynxley, uh, I just felt like I just feel like they just split. If you guys watch the Bad Guys too, I just feel like they split the character personality of Kitty Cat, Cattrick Lynxley, Cat, and Kitty Lynxley here, Kitty Cat. So I just feel like they split the characteristic of Kitty Cat from the Bad Guys 2, which I'm really hoping that Kitty Cat from the Bad Guys 2, once the third film comes, she will get a redemption arc. And Kitty Lynxley, like her older brother, she is very willing to help the family, even if things go immoral. And the characters are designed for me to hate, but I feel like Milton Lynxley is the character I really hate. Now, next up here, this is Pawbert Lynxley. Pawbert Lynxley, he's also another antagonist in Zootopia 2. The first time I saw Pawbert Lynxley, given his charisma and he seems like a good guy, but as the story progresses, you know what kind of person, I would say what kind of character he is nearing the climax, because Pawbert Lynxley, he's the youngest son of Milton Lynxley, and Pawbert Lynxley, all he wanted to do was impress his family. He wanted to do something for the family. So it may look like he's going against his family, which would benefit the good guy side, but when you see who he truly is, he just did it, and then betrayed Judy and Gary, and then also tried to kill Judy's partner Nick, and also attempted to kill Nibbles, but fortunately Nibbles survived because it's Venom, obviously. And the Pawbert, he's first designed for you to like, but then after you see his betrayal, you despise him. So that's my knowledge about this character. That Pawbert Lynxley, you get this fact that he's a good guy, but deep down, as you see later on, you see how much of a scumbag he is. He is definitely a fake friend to Judy and Gary, and Nick was a real friend. Nick is Judy's real friend. So is Gary, and also Nibbles. So that's my knowledge of Pawbert Lynxley. You get this idea that he's a good guy, but when you see his betrayal, you see who he truly is. And one last thing I like to say before I one last thing I like to say before I end off the video here. Um, uh, Gallery. Ah, here. Now, okay, I'm gonna zoom in on this one. Though it's very hard to distinguish. I'm not going to show the video because I might get a copyright claim, and also at the same time it could be a major spoiler and whatnot. So I'm just gonna show this one here. Now, it's I know it's hard to see here, but Gary the Snake's family, he has he has a mom, a dad, and he has two siblings. Though I don't know if Gary is the oldest or the youngest. My guess is he's probably the oldest. So that would be my best assumption of Gary the Snake. My guess is he's the oldest because you saw how he's willing to do the right thing and whatnot. I feel like he could be the oldest sibling in the Snake family. And also Gary's dad. If you look at the hat he's wearing, his hat is a reference to Indiana Jones. So I feel like that's a cool reference because why I feel like that's a cool reference of Gary the Snake's dad wearing a hat that's similar to Indiana Jones. It's because Ke Huy Quan, he used to he used to he used to play a character. He was in the movie The Temple of Doom with Harrison Ford, and the relationship was like uh, was like a father and son relationship. Even though they're not related by blood, it really you really get this father and son dynamic at Short Round. Willing to help out any way he can, despite being a kid. So that's why I feel like this is I feel like that Gary the Snake's dad wearing that hat is a lot like Indiana Jones. A lot like Indiana Jones when it comes to what he looks like. He is a pit viper, but when he wears that hat, he has that. It feels like you're seeing Indiana Jones just like as a pit viper, and also ironically that pit viper is a snake. Which is ironic because snakes are Indy's biggest fear. Because when he was a teenager at the Boy Scouts, he had severe phobia of snakes. So that's what I like to get out here. But anyways, that's all I have for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed my knowledge of what I shared here regarding the characters. And also and also pretty cool to see Gary the Snake's family, especially when I saw his dad the first time. He given that he's wearing that fedora that's similar to Indiana Jones, I just felt like Gary the Snake's dad. He feels like he looks like Indiana Jones, even though he's a pit viper. It's just the one thing that makes me feel like he looks like Indiana Jones was the fedora he's wearing, the hat he's wearing, which looks like the fedora Indiana Jones wears. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Wait. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and be sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay updated on new content I have on my YouTube channel. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, and have a good day, everybody.